Hello, everyone. This is Naresh here. Welcome to the first show of Sportigo Sports. And we'll be starting with the 4 episodes as a preview to the IPL with 2 teams in each episode. Joining me are very good friends of mine. We have Sumit from Gurgaon. Sumit is a technical engineer by profession, has played up to under 14 for Uttar Pradesh and follows the game very, very closely and has a very good success ratio in the predictions for the games that go on around the world. And with me, one of the most famous sports anchors, sports commentators, Nitish Kalia. He and me have been part of some IPL commentaries of 2020, which was played out of UAE. And Nitish is involved in a lot of sports and non-sporting hosting. So with Nitish as an professional anchor on board, it won't be right for me to continue, but I would like to hand over to Nitish to take this further, the first episode of our IPL preview.
Thank you so much, Naresh, for this wonderful introduction. And we are really glad to be a part of your show, Naresh. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
And Sumit, once again, welcome to you as well.
Thanks a lot, Nitish, and thanks a lot, Naresh.
All right. So, guys, how excited are you for IPL 2021, I should say?
Oh, yeah, looking forward. I mean, just four months back, we ended 2020 IPL, the 13th edition. And now here we are for the another edition of IPL. And in between these two IPLs, I think we have seen some very, very exciting cricket.
It's to me, it's something like getting on the bed, having a sleep, and getting early in the morning, and again watching the television with the IPL. It's 2020 and now it's 2021. So yeah, as Naresh said, in between we had some good and fantastic cricket played by, especially by the Indian cricket team. So yes, we are quite eagerly waiting for this 2021 IPL.
So Naresh, continuing in this line, now first time ever IPL is happening in India behind closed doors. How different it would be from the Dubai perspective and to coming back to the Indian perspective? How different it would be?
Actually, every year the team formation, when they go into auction, or all the strategies are based as per Indian conditions. और दो चीजें यहाँ पे हो रही है, crowd नहीं होगा, home advantage नहीं होगा, क्योंकि 6 neutral venues have been selected for these 8 teams to play against each other. It will be the same 14 games, but yeah, it would be Dubai or UAE, what they selected last year was more to ensure that the event goes ahead. But now back in India, where I think during the auction, everyone was told that we will continue to have it in India. It's just that it will be behind closed doors. So all the strategy, a jumbo squad, 25 each, maximum of 8 overseas players. So jumbo squad to move around together, yeah, it will be a little different for them, but at least, it's as per the Indian conditions. So they will have those strategies well in place.
Yes, as you already mentioned, we'll be having 6 different locations, and no team would be playing as a home team to the particular stadium. Today, in this first episode, we'll be focusing on 2 teams. We'll start from the bottom of the table. And on 8th position, we had Rajasthan Royals here with 12 points on the table, with least net run rate they had after 14 games. And on 7th, we had Chennai Super Kings, जिन्होंने भी 12 पॉइंट्स ही कलेक्ट किए थे, और उनका भी आई थिंक नेगेटिव में ही, ऑफ कोर्स उनका भी नेट रन रेट था, बस थोड़ा सा ज्यादा था, नेगेटिव में हल्का सा पॉजिटिव था, एंड दे केम 7th on the table against Rajasthan Royals. So first up, we'll start with Rajasthan Royals. Naresh, I'll start with you. No Steve Smith, they have released him. Why?
Yeah, so अभी जैसे आपने कहा ना कि 12 points पे थे, I think it was so close, the last IPL. I think there were a couple of more teams on 12, but only because of a better net run rate, वो table में, how they went about. But when we talk about Rajasthan Royals, they released Steve Smith was initially a bit of a surprise. But, आप अगर थोड़ा recollect करें, we were even on air commenting a few games. The decision making, they never looked stable right from the first game. There were a lot of constant changes in the batting order, especially. They had Ben Stokes, they had Butler. Jeffra Archer and Steve Smith himself, these were their 4 core overseas players. लेकिन जो shuffling हुई थी batting order में, Robin Uthappa was in the squad, but in the first half he never opened. He has done well as an opener for KKR also. So I think decision making didn't go well with the entire setup of Rajasthan Royals. Steve Smith started up, but a couple of scores ke baad didn't look much in form. Sanju Samson was moved around. So, and then in the end, when Ben Stokes was sent to open, he did very well, but it was too late. So I think those decision makings was one of the reasons for releasing Steve Smith. And they probably wanted to look to a young Indian leading the franchisee, and they have gone with Sanju Samson, who himself has had, I would say an average 2020. It started very well, the first, I think, couple of games in Sharjah, Rajasthan Royal plays very well. But once they moved to either Abu Dhabi or Dubai is when, the weaknesses were more prominent.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Spot on, Naresh. Absolutely correct. You said that, yes. But huge boots to fill for Sanju Samson here. He is the captain now for the team. So coming on to Sumit, your view on that Sanju Samson, can he be the next big thing as a captain in Indian cricket or for Rajasthan?
Obviously, with Sanju Samson, we don't have any doubt about his talent. And जैसा कि नरेश जी ने भी कहा कि he has performed in patches. Like initially, 2 games में in 2020 IPL, he was very good, and we thought like, yes, this is the Sanju Samson we want actually to see. And we thought the performance will go on with the IPL getting deeper and deeper. But then eventually what happened, 2-3 matches, everything went well. And as Naresh said, that there was throughout the series, throughout the competition, they kept on making some changes in the team, जिसकी वजह से वो स्टेबिलिटी थोड़ी इनके डिस्टर्ब हो, जो एक फाइनल लेवल आप चाहते हो वो उन्हें मिला नहीं. एंड दैट्स व्हाई सम वे आई वुड से बहुत ज्यादा डिपेंडेंसी एक तरीके से संजू सैमसन पे भी बनी, बिकॉज इट डिलीवर्ड इन फ्यू स्टार्टिंग मैचेस. एंड सिंस दिस स्टीव स्मिथ वाजंट इन फॉर्म, सो काफी कुछ संजू सैमसन के कंधों पे आ गया था. एंड वी हैड दोस पैचेस में कुछ उनके मैच विनर्स भी हैं. वी हैव जॉस बटलर देयर, वी हैव आर्चर देयर, एंड देन वी हैव बेन स्टोक्स. सो इट्स ऑल लाइक David Miller this time also. They have David Miller. So we can expect that Rajasthan Royals this time, if not in a better situation, in a better condition, with getting the homes on neutral venues, I think at least they will get into a final 11. जो कि ज़्यादा changes ना हो. Yes, there will be changes 2-3 places के, but then they should have a core with few 2-3 batsmen.
8-9 major players. Yeah. 8-9 major
Because,
players who can be there.
if we go through, Rajasthan Royals, I guess, is the team after winning it in 2008, I guess.
First season, yeah.
First season. उसके बाद से कभी भी ये balance side नहीं लगी है.
Absolutely.
Even Rahul Dravid was there, like Rahane was there, but even I would say they could not utilize Rahane's talent also. What he was good at, उनको भी काफी shuffle किया गया. तो so this time it's they have I would say they have gone on to the way Delhi कि उन्होंने कैसे श्रेयस अय्यर को एक कैप्टन बनाया. And I think both of them, like Sanju Samson and Shreyas Iyer, parallelly एक साथ खेले हुए हैं.
Yes, Delhi Capitals के नक्शे कदम पर चलना चाह रही है राजस्थान रॉयल्स यहाँ पर. Naresh, as Sumit has already spoken about many match winners in the team like Jofra Archer, now David Miller, of course, one of my favorite players. They have one signing with them with whooping fee they have paid for the person, that is Chris Morris from South Africa. Your thoughts on that? How Chris Morris would bring that balance to the team, or can Rajasthan Royals with Chris Morris in the side contend for top 4?
Chris Morris, first I was surprised for the price he was ultimately bought by Rajasthan. So leaving that aside, he is definitely a wonderful all-rounder. They already have Ben Stokes. Is it a backup plan, or is it that they want to play Morris and Ben Stokes together? We'll have to wait and see. Because as Sumit and you also mentioned, David Miller, I don't remember whether even he played a game in 2020. So
just
वहाँ
one
पे
game,
वो
he got out of a duck. Just one game.
तो बहुत underutilized हुए हैं. He has had a very good T20 series against Pakistan recently.
Yes.
I think he led also in couple of games when Faf du Plessis was not available. I think he's one of those where South African cricket looks at him as a good leader, because Quinton de Kock is also not sure whether he would want to lead the national team. So David Miller is very good. He's done well for Punjab when he played for Punjab.
Yeah.
David Miller was utilized very well in the middle order. Yeah. तो वो थोड़ा है ना, राजस्थान ने उनको यूटिलाइज अच्छा नहीं किया हुआ है. सो इट विल बी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग टू सी कि मॉरिस का एक्चुअली रोल क्या होगा, एंड इज द प्राइस टैग गोइंग टू इन्फ्लुएंस हिम प्लेइंग मोस्ट ऑफ द गेम्स, क्योंकि दे आर स्टिल गोइंग टू प्ले सम गेम्स इन पाकिस्तान बिफोर कमिंग, सो मे बी द फर्स्ट वीक दे मे मिस इट. We are not yet sure. There is some discussions going on how they can move from one bubble to another bubble, and whether Miller and Morris both are going to be in that side against Pakistan. So wo thoda Rajasthan may have a little different start before the overseas players come in. लेकिन Morris is a good all-rounder. एक दो अच्छी games हुई उनकी RCB के लिए last year. But yeah, he also needs to be used well. David Miller also needs to be used well. And then you have Archer, Ben Stokes, and other thing about Morris is his fitness. वो एक बहुत important बात होगी कि is he going to be fit to play 14 games? आप अगर टीम लेते हो और स्पेशली ओवरसीज के प्लेयर को लेते हो एक हाई प्राइस पे, is he going to be available to play entire 14 games fit?
Yes, Naresh, you made a very wonderful point that yes, utility of the price tag is very important. Sumit, you were mentioning something in between.
Yes,
apologies that we have to cut you off.
Yeah, no worry. Yes, what Naresh said, that how they utilize the overseas players, because now we have Liam Livingstone also. Okay,
right.
So you can eventually use 4 overseas players. So they have to be very choosy and need to be very suitable selection should be there with the team final 11. And I guess if David Miller and Morris get into the Pakistan tour and playing for South Africa, so I think maybe we have those the overseas players which they just bought, might be they can get into the final level.
Yeah, to add to Livingstone, they have also taken Mustafir Rahman.
I was about to come to him. Yeah,
I think he bowls left arm medium pace. He was part of Hyderabad team. He's done well.
Part of Mumbai team as well. I think he did well for Mumbai in some games.
Because he performs well, but eventually what happens, he does not get fit into a particular franchise. Every time he's getting moved in from one place to another.
So Sumit was saying it's right. We'll have to see how they utilize. एक थोड़ी weakness जो दूसरी दिख रही है राजस्थान में is an experienced or an international experienced spinner. Could be an Indian with an international experience. Tiwatia was just selected for the squad against England, lekin fitness was not cleared, he didn't play. Shreyas Gopal is the one with a lot of domestic experience. He doesn't have international experience. So spin be thoda weak. I think bowling side they have covered well. Ben Stokes, Morris, Mustafir.
But Naresh, I guess this time they have this Kuldeep Yadav also.
Yeah, but this is a different Kuldeep Yadav.
But that
Kuldeep.
It's a different Kuldeep Yadav. That's not the one. That's the debut. He's a debutant Kuldeep Yadav.
And they have one new left arm spinner. I think KC Kariappa is also.
KC Kariappa, right leg break. Right.
But then again, this Mayank Markande who played for Mumbai Indians.
हाँ, तो वो भी underutilized हुए हैं.
All right. One point I like to make, as you have already mentioned, Markande in previous IPL 2020 edition, we had a long discussion, Naresh and I, over his spot of the team, because he's a decent player. He can perform for the team. Rajasthan, they should have tried him. They did not play him, and I think not even a single game. So I think they when things were going wrong for them, they could have experimented. When they experimented, it was way too late. After 8 games, they started to shuffle the team. Ben Stokes came in, and it was too late for them for a comeback. So I think this time around, when they have some good. I think right now the bowling looks okay with Ben Stokes. Rahman is there.
Even Indians, you have Ankit Tyagi. Unatkar has been average, but Tyagi is very good. They have released Varun Aaron and Tom Curran also they released.
Yes.
The side looks good, but how can you maximize their utility is, I think, probably what we have discussed is the reason why Steve Smith was released.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Okay, question to Sumit now. So four of course foreign players are there. They have 6-7 options, so they can choose any four of them. Indian players whom we can rely on for Rajasthan Royals. Who gonna perform for them?
Obviously, Sanju Samson leading from the front, being the captain now. And yes, I do see some young players like this time. We have this Yashasvi Jaiswal. Then we have this Rayan Prayag. So these are the players I'm looking forward. Rahul Tewatia, obviously.
We have Rahul Tewatia, yes, as you mentioned. Manan Vohra, apologies. We have Mahipal Lumrur played a decent of innings.
Karthik Tyagi, we have. So we have good bench of Indian players right now, and those are young players. Okay, so I think this, and being a young captain, Sanju Samson, and knowing the Indian conditions well, I guess this time, at least, I don't see them into the starting fourth place, but I surely think they won't be in the bottom this time. But let's see.
Naresh, what do you think? Sumit is saying that they're not going to make top four में नहीं आने वाले हैं. Playoffs नहीं खेलेंगे फिर से.
Yeah, the team has been very good. You know, the way they have formed the team is good. They were very good even in 2020. And Sanju Samson, if he gets a little bit of a difference in the way the team will be led, and most important, players like Ben Stokes and Jeffra Archer giving good support to Sanju Samson as a new captain, I think they have the ability to go very far. So maybe they'll do better than number 8. They'll do.
So I think that's it for Rajasthan Royals, as we have already mentioned. So now it's time to move on to the team which finished seventh, I would say, second from bottom. I wanted to mention that. So seventh on the table, and surprise it was. Yes. This team never they were out of the playoffs since they played IPL 2008. First time ever we saw such calamitous performance from this team. Mahendra Singh Dhoni's side, most experienced, most furious side. What went wrong for Chennai Super Kings? Naresh, I'll start with you.
I think they overplayed the senior players. You know, it's called a retired team, as they said, but they overplayed it.
यहाँ पे आपको थोड़ा सा रोकूंगा. Apologies, as you said, retired team or something. But you have used that aged players को overuse किया. Still, they brought Moeen Ali, who is 32, I guess, 30 plus, I would say. They brought Moeen Ali. They pushed Pujara. So they still don't want youngsters.
थोड़ा बैलेंस कर रहे हैं because they want to transition well, because I think they also want to look at the current players who are in form irrespective of age. So Moeen Ali comes in that bracket, and after they have released Ashwin, they are struggling where Mahendra Singh Dhoni always wanted to start with a spinner.
Yeah,
and especially when you're playing back home in India. So Moeen Ali will play that role, and that's what I'm saying. Irrespective of the age, I think Moeen Ali comes in purely to fulfill that requirement, and he's a wonderful left-hand middle order batsman also. So yeah, so probably this should have been done at least in 2019, but they're slowly moving. And other surprise, as you said, besides Moeen Ali, was Robin Uthappa, who was traded from Rajasthan Royals. That again is probably to do with a backup for opener. Watson has retired. But the Faf du Plessis is going to be there. Ruturaj Gaikwad had a wonderful IPL in the final stages, last few games, and probably that's the reason they finished 7th, or they would have been 8th, to be honest, because Ruturaj Gaikwad, I think, couple of wonderful innings he had.
Sumit, what do you think? Last IPL for MSD?
Most probably this will be the last.
What if he scores 400 in this IPL?
Obviously, see, with Mahendra Singh Dhoni, you can expect these things normal. Test matches पे भी high पे खत्म किया, one day पे भी high पे खत्म किया. इस test matches में was just the losses that being a captain, उसने retirement लिया. And I think IPL T2021, I think yes, team काफी selective है इस बार, काफी सोच समझ के इन्होंने players को choose किया है. And I think most probably they have focused on the youngsters this time. और उसमें भी क्योंकि अगर आप देखोगे कुछ एक Hari Nishnath है, and then Harishankar Reddy है, and then we have Bhagat Verma. So these are like youngsters who have they have picked up, and they have got this Moin Ali. Cheteshwar Pujara is there. I think he has been applauded for that
Surprise
Australian
it was.
commitment to the Indian side. Okay, and then Robin Uthappa is there. So kind of this team selection is more of like they want to get into the a combination of youngster plus the experience career. So the most important part is Mahendra Singh Dhoni should have that confidence back what he had earlier. Okay, and if you see IPL 2020, they started to win the matches. The bottom 3 or 2 they started to win, and I think 2021 they will start with that uh, position only. They are into the rhythm of winning the matches, and I think Mahendra Singh Dhoni will start the match. I think the first match they are playing against is RCB, I guess, or Mumbai Indians.
RCB. I think,
So I think Dhoni will start with a win there, and obviously, this time I hope, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Sumit, it means you are saying that RCB is not going to make to top 4 again, or with the final, I will say.
See, they can be on the 4th or the 5th position, I guess, but it's too early to say something. We need to watch some matches first. Coming back to Dhoni, I think his personal performances will obviously impact the performance of CSK, and I think this time Dhoni most probably will be playing the last IPL, so he will make his mark here for the last time, I guess.
Wonderful. And I think Chiteshwar Pujara को तो सिर्फ इसलिए लिया कि हेजलवुड उनको नेट में बॉलिंग कर सकें ऑस्ट्रेलिया में.
But surprise if he get into the final 11 also.
Yeah.
Naresh, please.
Yeah, just wanted to add what Sumit was saying. थोड़ा आप देखेंगे 2020 परफॉर्मेंस इज लिटिल बिट सिमिलर टू राजस्थान की. काफी चेंजेस इन्होंने भी की. टॉप ऑर्डर में सैम करन को भी ओपन कराया था, ऋतुराज को ओपन कराया, एंड दैट बिकेम स्टेबल. Initially, it was Watson and Faf du Plessis got them a couple of good scores, but then Watson was playing more as a batsman. Fitness was a question, and then they had a problem in the middle order. So obviously, Kedar Jadhav ko release kar diya hai. He didn't have a good IPL. Lekin one thing good is Suresh Raina coming back.
Oh yes, I was about to come to that point only, Naresh.
Yeah. Left-hander Suresh Raina. I mean, he's done so well in IPL. So, it suddenly looks good if you have Faf du Plessis and Ruturaj opening, then you have Suresh Raina and then Ambati Rayudu and then MS Dhoni. At least with the names and the experience, suddenly you feel that, yes, this is a good batting lineup to start with. Obviously, it's all about the form because this is one team who has players with the least of experience coming into the tournament. इनका experience नहीं है ज्यादा. Faf du Plessis थोड़ा खेले matches against Pakistan recently. Probably the only one who has played some international cricket recently before the IPL. Suresh Raina, Rayudu, Dhoni, I have not played much of cricket. वो ही एक है जो can become a drawback. But otherwise, purely by their reputation, it looks a much better side.
And Naresh, what is wrong with DJ Bravo? Obviously, we know that he was injured in the previous edition and played only 6 games and did not do anything with the bat, neither with the ball. So, what is wrong with him? Is he fit, or is he gonna be the same which we have seen?
Fitness. He played the entire series, I think, against Sri Lanka under Kieron Pollard. But yeah, it has to be fitness. Even but he's the leading wicket taker in IPL, 150 plus. So he is very, very vital for CSK, especially in the death में जैसे डालते हैं वो, especially if he's brought in after 12th or 13th over to bowl till the end. But yeah, again, it's the fitness related to Bravo. Maybe you focus on Bravo more as a death bowler than an all-rounder. I think CSK would do better. Yeah.
All right, Naresh, अगर हम इनकी बात करें, as you mentioned the foreign player, that is DJ Bravo. Which are the foreign players to watch for them? Sam Curran, of course, one would be there, and who else?
Sam Curran, Hazelwood, they would like to play as an overseas.
He was 3 games last time.
Yeah, he didn't play much. One surprising player which they didn't try out at all was Mitchell Santner.
Oh yes, even Imran Tahir was also sitting outside only. Couple of games only.
Imran Tahir because they had a choice in Piyush Chawla, whom they've released. But with the limit of 4 overseas, I think that is where Imran Tahir lost out. But Santner was a surprise. Santner is a wonderful player for New Zealand. Yeah, he's done well. So
even he can bat as well. So
yeah. So we can look out for Santner doing well. He'll probably get more games. So as you said, Sam Curran hote hain, DJ Bravo, Santner, and Faf du Plessis, and Hazelwood. 4 out of these 5 may make more appearances playing for CSK this year.
okay, so if you say that Hazelwood gonna open the bowling for them, or maybe in between, so who's gonna come from the Indian side as a pacer? Will it be Shardul Thakur or will it be Deepak Chahar? Right now, I think Shardul
Deepak
Thakur.
Thakur had a very good tournament against England, but he'll be more like a first or a second change. Deepak Chahar is good. He's a seam bowler. He swings it well, and to tie up with Hazelwood's pace. And I think the CSK most of the time opens with Deepak Chahar, so they would maintain that.
Oh yes. Okay, coming on to Sumit. Sumit, they have Lungi and Giddy as well from South Africa in the team. He was really bad in the previous edition. I think he just played 4 games and very expensive, around 9 runs per over. He leaked out and did not take much wickets. Any thoughts on them? Will he be playing, or what's your thoughts on the team selection?
This IPL 2020 was for Chennai got worse because the bowling attack did not seem to be what they earlier had. Okay, and that's why the runs were completely going on. We're running like anything, and especially I think as Naresh also said that Deepak Chahar, they would still go for him to start with the pace attack, and I think Shardul Thakur this time will get chance for sure. Going with Hazelwood, Deepak Chahar, or this Shardul Thakur. And Nagidi, I think again he will be used in some patches, I guess, not completely as a main strike bowler, but he will be used in some 1 or 2 matches, I guess, will be used in patches. And we have this Moeen Ali. Moeen Ali will be utilized completely this time.
Sorry, I missed out Moeen Ali. Yeah.
Moeen Ali will be.
So Imran Tahir again would be sitting out, or Shantner maybe, as Naresh is mentioning.
See, if I talk about Imran Tahir and Shantner, I still go with Imran Tahir. But then again, we have only choices for 4 overseas players, and then with Faf du Plessis getting in, and then we have this Sam Curran, and Hazelwood, and I think Bravo would be there. So Imran Tahir chance. Moeen Ali would be there. So I think, because again, and as Naresh said, that main factor for CSK would be this time, that is Suresh Raina. Last time he wasn't in the team. They did not get the correct combination getting on the top of the order. And I think this time they would be getting it as Rituraj played his last three matches of IPL 20. He got in the right way. So I think he will be starting with Faf du Plessis. And then going forward, we have this Raina. And then we have this Ravindra Jadeja also coming back.
No, just to add, Jadeja will be interesting. He's a senior member of the squad. He's a wonderful all-rounder for India, but he's going to come back after a long break of injury. It will be a test for him on how he quickly copes with the T20 format.
Yes. So Naresh, एक चीज मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूंगा, क्या सीएसके फिर से वैसी लग रही है जो एकदम खतरनाक टीम होती थी जिससे सब डरते थे खेलना? Will they be back to their imperious best, which they are known for?
To be honest, no, but it's a transition phase for them. They would also hope to do better than the last edition of IPL, and that's where I think what Sumit was saying, Suresh Raina would make a difference to stabilize the batting order and also score fast. They were struggling in scoring fast, but expecting them to come up in the top 4 and getting into the finals, I don't see it in this year.
ओके, तो नरेश ने तो कह दिया कि टॉप 4 में नहीं होगी चेन्नई सुपर किंग्स. सुमित से पूछता हूं, क्या सुमित रिटर्निंग सुरेश रैना एंड न्यू कमर, ऑफ कोर्स एज से नहीं, टीम में न्यू कमर मोइन अली पहुंचा पाएंगे टॉप 4 में सीएसके को? व्हाट डू यू थिंक?
इट्स टू अर्ली टू से दैट कि ये लोग मिलके सीएसके को टॉप 4 में पहुंचा पाएंगे, बट यस, एज नरेश सेड, इट्स अ ट्रांजिशन पीरियड, और ट्रांजिशन पीरियड में नॉर्मली ऐसा होता है कि बिकॉज सीएसके हैज अ पैच ऑफ getting onto those winning streak for a longer time, and then एक टाइम आता है जब you need to get those transition, because वो players जो थे आपकी टीम में, जो आपके core players थे, they have retired or they have gone into other franchise or stopped playing cricket. So एक transition है. Transition phase ऐसा होता है कि you have those ups and downs. Someday you have those high wins and then low phases there. So I also don't see CSK as in the top 4 right now, but let's see the first 2-3 matches what impact they can create with those 2-3 matches winning in the IPL 2021.
Alright. Okay, so एक googly question आप दोनों के लिए. On paper अगर हम देखें, which team is looking stronger, Rajasthan Royals or Chennai Super Kings? Naresh, I'll start with you.
I'll go with Rajasthan. Yeah, they on paper they seem a better side. Yeah.
And if you splash 16.25 crore for a player, I think you should not finish.
Yeah. I think they have Butler. I'll call Butler an X factor for Rajasthan.
Oh, yeah.
Correct. And also one thing to add to Naresh's point that Rajasthan Royals में जो भी players है ना, they have been playing continuously, almost major players जो भी. And CSK में the major players that we are talking about, जो कि पहले से हैं team में, they haven't been playing. Even Ravindra Jadeja, December से he has not been playing cricket. So this is the factor. That's why Naresh is saying that on paper, Rajasthan Royals looks much better than CSK.
Wonderful. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen, on the Sportigo Sports Talk episode number 1, where we spoke about Rajasthan Royals, their new selections, the player they released, whatever they had in store for 2021, and also we spoke about Chennai Super Kings as well. Last year they struggled. This time around they are looking little better, but both are experts, Naresh Mansugani and Sumit Goswami. They think that both the teams, Rajasthan and CSK, will not make to the top 4. बहुत सारे जो फैंस हैं, प्लीज निराश मत होइए, क्योंकि ग्राउंड पर कुछ भी हो सकता है, ऑन पेपर बहुत कुछ लगता है, बट लेट्स सी, होप फॉर बेस्ट फॉर बोथ द टीम्स. नेक्स्ट एपिसोड में हम फीचर करेंगे जो टेबल पर नंबर 5 और नंबर 6 पर फिनिश हुई थी. देन विल कंटिन्यू विद 3 and 4, और लास्ट एपिसोड जो हमारा होगा वो टॉप 2 टीम्स के बारे में हम करेंगे. सो थैंक यू सो मच गाइस फॉर जॉइनिंग इन. थैंक यू सो मच Naresh and Sumit once again. It was wonderful having you with us. Many more episodes to come. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Love you all. Thank you.
Thanks.
Enjoy the game. Cricket never ceases to amaze us. Bye bye.
Bye bye.